Hi everybody, this is Darren Williger, and thanks for taking the time to check out my new video series about relationships dynamics, where I'm going to be ranting a little bit about different observations and perceptions I've been able to gain in my 4 decades on this planet. Today we're going to be exploring emotional blackmail. I'll admit, and it's not an easy thing to do, that I've personally been victim to emotional blackmail repeatedly. And it's a dynamic that you'll find from men and women, and it's something that it's one of those like silent abuser things. And here's the deal with it. I think we've all been through it to an extent. I think growing up we get acclimated to some of this Jewish guilt, we would call it in my family. The whole, but you don't care to call your mother anymore? I'm going to talk about some pretty hardcore emotional blackmail techniques that are used. Maybe you'll recognize some of these. I know they definitely resonated with me. So I wrote down a few things. Blackmail, telltale signs of emotional blackmail. I can't believe you're being so selfish. I really thought you were different from other men. Or women, I guess could be. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. How could you do this to me? After fill in the blank. There's many more examples to this, but the bottom line is these are manipulative techniques. An emotional blackmailer uses these techniques to gain leverage over you. It's generally because they have a need to gain some type of control through manipulative ways. Here's the worst part. It'll be done to you by somebody who's close enough to know your fears and vulnerabilities. As opposed to professional FUD, where we'd use fear, uncertainty, and doubt to compel somebody to make a purchase or persuade, people use FOD, which is fear, obligation, and guilt, to make people do things, to leverage things. If you don't do this, I'll be sick. You'll regret it. After everything I've done for you, I can't believe you're acting this way. Or, here's another manipulative emotional blackmail technique. Bond with somebody you hate. Something like this. You're acting just like fill in the blank of someone you don't respect. Or, here's another one. You ready for this one? Bond with people you actually do respect and admire. Buddy up with your rabbi, your pastor, your best friends, everybody, and let them know that you're insane. That's the other technique of the emotional blackmailer. Let the victim know that they're crazy when they try to stand up and assert themselves. Anyway, I'm 40. I'm tired of this crap. I realize that my life is filled with the most beautiful and awesome people I could ever be blessed with knowing. But it got a little peppered with just a couple grains of crap. People who like to use techniques like this. Not necessarily even bad people, but this is a bad behavior. So personally, I'm learning some awesome techniques to deal with the emotional blackmailers, and I'm going to take this risk here of reaching out and sharing this discovery so that maybe somebody else will benefit. Maybe you'll learn about it. After everything we've been through, you should pay attention to my video. I thought you'd be like other YouTube watchers. Yeah, I could come up with more. It's been an epiphany to actually even snap through this. And honestly, I feel used, but I know it's my fault. It's not necessarily anything but my complete control to change. And I take a look at these behaviors and recognize that it's from a very small handful of people. It's gotten to the point that I almost feel harassed. I had signed off at Twitter for a while, as there were people who would immediately reach out on the phone. Oh, you have time to be on Twitter. Why haven't you made time to return my call? And then the obligatory, return my call. I've left you several messages. Come on, people. There's things going on. I don't know how people determine some type of right of entitlement with my life or schedule. I have a group of people who I'd like to reserve that for, but number one, for me. I get me first. And then, circle family and stuff, daughter, goddaughter, brother, mother, grandfather, and then the other, life tapestry of friends. Then it keeps growing, growing, growing. But if we just met, you don't own me. And if you leave me 3 messages while I'm at a meeting, it doesn't mean I need to call you back right away when I get home. Sometimes I like to get on Twitter because there's an awesome group of people I've connected with for years, and I really like to reconnect there. So I'm turning off phones for the month of August so I could discover more of these really interesting perceptions. It starts with me. That's the best part. And I know that I have a hard time drawing a line, and people can leverage me easily by saying stuff like, well, you're not being a good friend by not dropping what you're doing right now to make sure my needs are addressed. And I'm learning to stand up for myself. Yeah, you know, it's this emotional BS that we all get trapped up with at times and need to work through. It's not fun, it's not cool to do, and I'm Darren Williger. I'm determined to bust through this myself, to become stronger for it, and to help you all along with the journey, because we're all on a journey together, my friends. But you don't care to call your mother anymore?